Hey guys, it's Phyrra and I wanted to show you my new hair. Christian did my hair for me today. I was at the salon from 1 p.m. until 6:15 p.m. and he used Paul Mitchell for the black, and for the rest of it he used Pravana Vivid. So I've got Vivid Violet and Wild Orchid and like there's a little bit of orange. There's like an orange panel here, and then if I flip it over somewhere in here, if I can find it, there's another orange panel. Not that I can see through my hair when it's like this. I have to brush it to see if I can find. There we go. There's the other orange panel. I needed a change and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, so we just went in there with the idea that we were going to do something different from what I had before. Even though I really loved the split, I felt like I needed to get out of my comfort zone. So we had talked about doing like emerald green and teal and lime, but when my hair lifted up from having the color in it, it was like half mint and half orange from like the purple and the black that was over here. So we were like, well, it's not going to go green with the orange section because that would just turn into brown and it would be gross and a mess. So I told him to surprise me, and so he came up with this purple menage with a couple like orange streaks, and I think it's a lot of fun, so it's a nice change. I might go back in and brighten up the orange since it's kind of like a dark orange. But anyway, this is my new hair. Next up, I wanted to tell you that I am changing how I swatch things. I went out and bought 6 identical brushes. These are Bdellium 777 brushes, and they're the pink bamboo line. I bought these because I thought that they would be like nice lid brushes so that they would be perfect for swatching. Now when I am swatching, when I swatch now, I am no longer swatching on primer. I'm swatching the color on the back of my bare hand. Even though I would never wear eyeshadow without primer, I'm doing this to be able to show you how the color performs a little bit better so that, you know, you're not seeing me compensate for the color with primer or with glitter glue or something else. If it's a complex color, I still may do an additional swatch over something that is like glitter glue, just to say, hey, this is what you can, this is what the color will look like if it's a complex color and if you use a mixing medium. But for the most part, I'm just gonna skip doing primer. I'm still gonna use tape so that I can have neatish lines because I really hate it when it's a mess. So yeah, like for the first time in, I don't know, 7 years, I'm changing how I swatch. So hopefully you'll like the results of that. I've still got some things that have been swatched in the old fashioned, so I will make sure and I always note whether, you know, this was swatched with primer or without primer, just so you have an idea. I have a funny story I wanted to tell you, or I don't know if it's funny, but it was one of those, oh my god, I can't believe this happened kind of stories. I was at the Sephora at JCPenney last week and I was waiting in line because I wanted to buy this Tarte finishing powder. And the girls in front of me were young girls, like, I don't know, probably in their late teens. And they were waiting to return a beauty blender, which, you know, I didn't really think that was a big deal until I saw the beauty blender that they were going to return. And the girl's like, I don't have a receipt, but it's probably slightly less than a year old. And the girl, the makeup associate or the sales associate at Sephora, was really nice and said, well, I'll go ahead and give you a return, but it's going to be an after 45-day, you know, credit. And I couldn't believe that she was trying to return a beauty blender that was almost a year old. Like, clearly this thing had been used, like, never cleaned because it was disgusting and brown. Like, my beauty blender right now is brown because I need to clean it, like right here. This thing was like crunched up like this, caked on brown, looked like it had never been washed. It was absolutely disgusting. So I'm sitting there, I'm standing there in line, silently judging, but keeping my mouth shut, just watching this interaction. Still shocked that this woman is actually going to get a refund for a disgusting, obviously used beauty blender. And she walked off with her friend. And then I went up to pay, and I looked down and I see the disgusting beauty blender, and I'm like, did she really return a used beauty blender that was almost a year old? And she's like, yeah. And I just didn't want to fight her on it. I wanted to give her good customer service. Her mom tried to return it last week, but she didn't even have an account with us, so I said no. And because she's a VIB, I was just going to go ahead and be nice. And I'm just like, I can't believe how nice you are, because if it had been me, I would have said no way. Yeah, I think I will sit there in line and silently judge you if you return a beauty blender that's almost a year old to a store. That's just so disgusting. Phaedra says hi. She wanted to come pop in the video and say hi. She's had a rough week of it because it's been storming every afternoon, and she's now terrified of storms. She's been terrified for the past, I guess, 2 years. And it really sucks because I absolutely love storms, but she's miserable. So whenever it storms out, she gets up on the sofa and she starts shivering and she'll start whining. And so I'll kind of like sigh, roll my eyes, put my blanket over her that I have out in the living room, and she'll cuddle up as close as she can to me under the blanket, and then she'll at least stop whining, she'll shiver a little bit, and then she'll fall asleep. But it's like the blanket makes it all better, or at least tolerable. I love my poodle. Some of you may know I have anxiety issues, and I've had anxiety issues for as long as I can remember. I self-medicated for my anxiety issues in my 20s, and now that I'm in my 30s, I've started seeing a therapist. I'm on medication for my anxiety issues, and I have my poodle who helps me a lot. But there was a point in time about, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, where my anxiety had gotten so bad. I was pretty much agoraphobic, didn't leave my house for like 3 or 4 weeks at a time, and it was pretty awful. It was pretty crippling. So that was one of the reasons I decided that I didn't want to live like that. And I started going to the gym like a year and something ago, but like I felt even better since I started doing the gym. It's like between my dog and the gym and the right medication and the right therapist, I've been able to, I don't want to say overcome my anxiety because I think I'm always going to have some social anxiety, but I feel like I've made a lot of progress to where I'm much more comfortable in most situations. If it's an unknown situation with unknown people, I'm still probably going to have problems. And anyway, I guess what I just wanted to say is if you have issues like that, you know, you can always talk to somebody and you'll be able to find someone who can help you. Don't give up. Don't let yourself be locked in your house unless you want to be locked in your house. But I most certainly did not. One of the reasons I started making YouTube videos several years ago was to try and help me get over my awkwardness. But I mean, I'm still socially awkward. I'm probably always going to be at least a little socially awkward, but I can practice and get better at it. So yeah, I don't know. I hate the thought of somebody being out there and feeling like they have no hope and no help. And I wanted to let you know that there is hope, and you know, you can find help, and don't give up. On the entertainment front, I finished Sense8, which was awesome. I absolutely loved it. It was so cool. Can't wait for the second season. I just started Orange is the New Black, the third season, so I'm enjoying that so far. I finished up The Almighty Johnsons, which was awesome. I felt like the ending was a little rushed with that show, so I didn't like that so well, but overall I thought it was a really good series, and I would definitely watch any other like really cool series from New Zealand like that. And I started rewatching Hemlock Grove with Ray because he didn't watch it with Dave the first time we saw it, so I was really excited when I was checking IMDb and I saw that there's going to be a third season of Hemlock Grove because I really like it. In general, I think most of the Netflix original series are pretty great, so if you haven't checked them out, you should. A lot of times late at night when I'm working on photography stuff or writing for my blog, I'll turn on a TV show just so I have something on in the background to kind of watch. And sometimes the show is like Hemlock Grove, which for whatever reason, it just makes me put down what I'm working on to pay attention to it. Other times I just kind of like, you know, watch it in the background and kind of enjoy it for what it is. Like with Orange is the New Black, I just kind of watched it in the background, but I still like it. This week, ColourPop is launching their new matte liquid lipsticks, so I'm really excited because I think they're going to be like $6 each, and there's like 5 or 6 shades that I know I want. I know I want Ouija, I know I want Sunday, I know I want Mars, I know I want Highball, and I think I want Trap just for the name because I like trap music. So I'm really excited about that. Other makeup releases that are coming out. Kat Von D is releasing some eyeshadows in July. I'm really looking forward to checking those out. They're like, so I think she calls them like molten metals or metal something metal eyeshadow, but Metal Crush maybe. They look awesome. And of course, you know, Makeup Geek is coming out with a line of duochromes and a line of mattes, 2 of my favorite things. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Marlena releases. I want to find out, I'm looking forward to checking out what the colors are. I've already given you a sneak peek on my Instagram channel of a couple of the colors that I found online. And I put up my first Snapchat story yesterday when I got my hair done, of my hair process at the salon. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. What's going on with you? Please be sure to let me know in the comments below, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I make new videos on Tuesdays and Fridays and sometimes in between. Thanks so much for watching.